Hey guys, David here, and today I want to blog about something or vlog about something. I want to talk about this certain issue that came up recently with me on YouTube. I go and talk about movies on other YouTube channels like we all do, we all like to chat with other fans and see what other fans are thinking. And I came across this douchebag who was kind of like, Watch Mojo did a Power Ranger list, their top 10 Power Ranger monsters. And some people, as usual, are always a bunch of douchebags on the internet because where else can we troll, right? We don't troll in real life unless you're a terrorist. But yeah, this one gave a comment about how Mighty Morphin is the only good season out there. And I commented on that and said, look, man, every true Ranger fan knows that there are better seasons than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, to true Ranger fans, is the most overrated season ever because that's the season where people who used to remember the show fondly have nostalgia for it. So that's why it's held high in regards to non-Ranger fans, people who've only seen that season and nothing that came after. Or if they did, they felt they were too old for it. But then there's people like me who, grew up with the series that has seen more than Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And look, I don't watch the series as regularly as I used to. I think the last season I used to watch regularly, like religiously, was in 2009. It was Power Rangers RPM. That was the last season I would watch religiously. And then after that, they have the Samurai series and the Mega Force series, and they had the more newest one was Dino Charge right now. And yeah, I haven't seen a lot of those episodes. I've seen bits and pieces here and there, but I don't have time for the show anymore. I'm like watching other things. Maybe I finally grew up. Who knows? No, but I watch a little bit of it on Netflix. I've seen bits and pieces here. There was a comment that bothered me right after I wrote that to that person on that channel, on that video, and someone else wrote to me saying Power Rangers overrated. Like, haha, very funny. I feel sad for you, and I'm like thinking to myself, sad for me? Like, why do you feel sad for me? Because I think there's a season that's overrated. So I use Star Trek as something similar. Where no, it's kind of like Star Trek. Where there's people that love the original series of Star Trek, and then there's people that love the Next Generation, and then there's people that love the J.J. Abrams reboot. I love the J.J. Abrams reboot. I think it's a great a set of films. And I could never get into the original series, so, but there's people that think the original series is the best one. There's some people that think the Next Generation is the best one. The true Star Trek fans apparently don't even care too much for the J.J. Abrams reboot, so there you go on that. And so then he wrote back saying, whatever, he still didn't agree with me. And, it kind of bothers me because it's like, why do we have to categorize things? Because he told me something like, oh, you like a kid show, ha ha ha, or something like that. And it bothers me when people have to categorize things. Like, I get it. I know the show is targeted for kids. That's fine. But I grew up with the show. I was 10 years old when the show started. And I just learned to appreciate it, and I look at the cheesiness now as its charm. Before, I just used to like it for, when I was 10 years old, I used to like it just for the action. But now as I got older, I started liking the characters a little bit more. I started liking the stories a little bit more. Yeah, it could be cheesy once in a while, but for me, that's a little fun, I think it's cool. And it's nothing different from people that like Transformers, There's adults watching Transformers today. And I'm not talking about the live action films. I'm talking about the animated shows, Transformers. I don't care too much for Transformers. The only Transformers things that I got into was Beast Wars back in the 90s. And, I grew up with Animaniacs, Tiny Toons, the Looney Tunes, DuckTales, Chip and Dale, the Aladdin series that Disney used to have back then. That was one of my favorite shows while growing up, as well as the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon from the 80s, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. I was also a fan of She-Ra, the sister series to He-Man. So those were some animated shows that I grew up watching, and Power Rangers was part of that. So just like all those other shows, I love Power Rangers too. To me, it's part of that group. And if you were to show someone like my father, believe me, I've tested these shows on my father before. He just thinks they're all the same shit. They're for kids. He doesn't care about them. You show him He-Man, Ninja Turtles, the best episodes of any of those shows, he doesn't give a crap. Power Rangers is in that same category. At the end of the day, it's all what you grew up with watching. If you grew up with that, you're going to enjoy it more, even when you get as an adult. And some people not really. Some people could grow out of it. Some people are young at heart and still enjoy it as they get older. They appreciate the world building that some of these shows do. Some people like new interpretations, like Batman the Animated Series back in 1992. I loved it. And as the animated Batman shows continue to come, we got Young Justice, we got The Batman, we got Batman Brave and the Bold. I think these are all great Batman interpretations, great different versions of the Batman animated show. I love superhero shows, The Ultimate Spider-Man, which is the new one that's out now, I think, on television, on Disney XD or something. That's a cool show too to me, and I love the 90s Spider-Man cartoon. So with that being said, I think people should, if you're someone that loves kid shows, if you're someone that's a grown-up adult like me, I'm 33 years old, and you like cartoon shows, you like kid shows, there's nothing wrong with that. You can like what you like, and you shouldn't be judged for liking that, because it's just entertainment at the end of the day. And I hate when people judge people for liking entertainment, for something that relieves us of our stress. Power Rangers is a show to me that relieves me from my stress. I can just watch it, enjoy it, turn my brain off, and have a good time with it. And I don't know why people have to, criticize or judge people because of that. Same thing with music or movies, whatever, I've experienced it all, being made fun of when I was in grade 6 for liking Power Rangers. So I was kind of a closet Power Ranger fan for a long time until, I got out of high school, got out of college. Someone told me, David, don't worry about what other people think about the shows and movies and whatever you like. You gotta enjoy what makes you happy. And I took that to heart, I agreed with that. And ever since then, I put my Rangers stuff on display, and then people are like, oh, you like this show? That's cool. Yeah, and people have fond memories of it. They bring up old topics. It's actually starts some interesting conversations once in a while. So there you go, guys. I just say be yourself. Who gives a crap what people think? If people tease you, that's fine. Which, I get teased once in a while, and I just say, yeah, what can I say? I'm still a kid trapped in a man's body. So with that being said, guys, I hope this helps people who might be going through similar situations. Maybe there's people in high school or elementary school who, need a little encouragement like this. That don't worry, man. Be yourself. Don't worry about the bullies. They don't matter. So, bullies exist. There's nothing we can do. Just stand up against them. Go, look, hey, I like what you like. If you have a problem with it, get a real life, okay? Because that's the real problem here. So, with that being said, guys, I'm ending it here. Take care.